Hello, everybody. I'm Charles Kemp. I'm Mayor of Fairmont, and I want to have a conversation today with my good friend Emanuel Thompson, who is a member of the Youth Advocacy Committee. Lives here in Fairmont. He's a graduate, a college graduate, and doing a good job in our community, trying to marshal the forces for young people. Emanuel, it seems like today young people are at a crossroads. That's the impression I got in the 40 years I taught school, and I'd like for us to have a conversation today, since you and I are both intimately involved in trying to revitalize young people in our community. Where do you see the problem today? And let's talk about that a little bit. What is the crossroads that youth is facing today?
I've been thinking about that a lot, actually, since you brought it up to me, and I've come down to it being one thing, and that's just a lack of leadership and mentorship. Like I think the hardest thing for youth to do is know who you are, know what you're supposed to be, how you're supposed to act. And I think somewhere down the line, we've missed some strong mentors, like older people to kind of show us the way, and to take us by the hand and spend time, and invest in young people's lives. And I think that right now is probably the biggest thing that's missing, because now they're left to try to figure it out themselves.
And look for their own mentor.
Right. And most of them don't know that they even need a mentor. They don't know that they need a role model, someone to like point them to the path.
Yeah. The problem, I agree with you. The problem seems to be looking at all the riches and the wealth that some people have luckily made, and thinking that's the way to go.
Right.
When that's just 15 minutes of fame, and what's really important are the 9-to-5ers, or the people who really work hard and have made themselves, brought themselves up and are doing a better job. Those are the people we need to channel young people toward.
Yeah, and people.
The Mr. E.R. Gosses of the and Mr. Frank McCree's.
Right.
And I'm not even going to mention my name, but a lot of other people in this community. Your father, for example, who's done well as a successful businessman.
Right.
Those are the people that need to be held up as role models.
Yeah, exactly. The people in the community that you see on a daily basis, but it's just the time that it takes to invest in a child's life, in a youth's life. Like it requires a lot of time, and I think we need to create some sort of platform for that, some sort of community for that, where we're giving older people and younger people a place where they can come together and kind of rock out these issues. I don't know what that looks like, but I know it's definitely needed for young people.
I've always thought when I was a teacher that they call them rap sessions. Back in the 70s, they called them rap sessions.
Right.
I don't know what the term is now. I've been out of education a couple of years.
Right.
Kids sitting around talking about what we need. Maybe we need to create a platform where kids can say, I don't need to follow this guy or that woman. I need to follow this person or that person.
Right.
Or this is what's bothering me. Maybe is that the direction we seem to need to be going?
Yeah. And I think too, the other thing that's missing is that, so like kids, and I forgot who said this the other day, but they can really, I think it was Miss Sandra who said it, but they recognize authenticity, right?
Yeah.
And so they're more likely to follow or to listen to someone who they know cares about them, right? Because like people don't care how much you know till they know how much you care, right? So in order for you to start investing, for you to say, listen, do this, this is the best way to go, they have to know that you have their best interests in mind.
Instead of just trying to
just being bossy.
Yeah, just
right.
Be in charge and tell them where to go and what time you go to lunch and what time you get a chance to go to the bathroom, or get out of the park, or you're riding the bicycle in the wrong place.
Right.
Just own them. Maybe lift them up.
Exactly.
And that's what we need to do, I think. I agree with you. That's what we need to do, is find a way to lift these kids up. And do we have a plan, or do we have a... What do you think works? What would work?
Ultimately, we got to find a way to give them a voice. We got to find a way to mobilize them, because I think once we can get them all together and they're understanding we're behind them, a lot of times, because courage, I think they say friendship equals courage, right? So if you have a group of people that are behind you saying, like, whatever you want to do, what's your voice, as long as it's positive, we're behind you and we're going to help you get it done, because that, the kids here in this small town have their dreams are just as big as a person in New York City or in Chicago. It's just a matter of being able to tap into that potential that they have.
Right. We've got to find a way to crystallize the energy of these young people, and the energy has to be not behind a rock that is being thrown, or not behind a gun that is being shot,
right,
but behind something positive, where a kid can actually do something supportive of himself or herself and the community.
Yeah, I mean, because so you got your kids who already have a stable foundation, and those kids are gonna prosper wherever they go.
Right.
You know? But then you got your kids who, you know, maybe their water might not be on that day, or their lights might not be on that day, or they didn't eat that day except for at school. And see, that kind of stuff has to be addressed too, because you can't expect them to do as well as someone who has that foundation. You know, because when you got gaps in there, you know, and I think we should fill those gaps. You know.
Well, what we've got to do then in our conversations in the committee that you are on, that I formed, what we've got to do is find a way to do what we're talking about.
Right. Yeah.
And that's going to be time for another show.
Yeah.
And another conversation. But I look forward to the ideas that you and I and the others on our committee are going to put on the table, so that we can get past the false role models,
right,
and get kids on the right road, and get them off of the crossroad,
right,
because they don't know which road to take.
Exactly.
It was it. Henry David Thoreau said once, the great American author, I came to a road that parted, and I took the lesser traveled one, and it's made all the difference in my life. Maybe what we need to do is show the kid the right road.
Yeah.
And that's what we'll do.
I think that's it, exactly.
I think so. This is just part one of a multi-part series of conversations that Emanuel and I are going to be having about young people and youth in our society, our community, and hopefully we'll get them moving in the right direction. Thanks for listening.